How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another community questions video. In this video, we're going to go through the comments on the poll that I put on YouTube that said, what advice would you give to the new players starting on mobile now that it's available to everybody? We have so many new players starting this game, and I figured, you know what, with all these new players starting, it can be a confusing experience, so it does help to get a lot of advice and help out to them. It helps them keep them in the game, and then they can help us keep our game a good, healthy experience, because obviously the more players that play the game, the better it is for us in the long run. Basically, this is going to be a video where I go through your comments, look at what you've suggested these players do, and talk about the advice that you've given them as well. Expand on it a little bit for them to understand it a bit more, but hopefully this does help a lot of the new players out. Of course, this isn't going to be focused only at mobile because a lot of this advice will work for people who are starting on PC as well. So I guess it just kind of goes both ways, which is pretty cool. But anyway, if you enjoy the video, leave a like on it. Do subscribe if you are new to the channel. There'll be another community post up there soon for the next question, so keep an eye out for that. And also, if you are new to the game, do subscribe, as I will be posting more stuff to help all you new players out as long as there is demand for it. But anyway, let's get into this. Let's get started and let's see what our first comment with a great bit of advice is. Let's help all these noobs. Okay, so looking at our first comment, we have, don't be afraid to ask for help. There are a ton of experienced players who enjoy helping new players. This is very, very true. And actually, if you are really in need of help and there's no one around at the time, maybe you're brand new to the game, you're not in a clan yet, that sort of thing, then there's a link in the description to this video. We'll let you into my Discord server. Get in there, ask for help. Everybody in there is super welcoming, super nice, and you'll have no problem getting help in there for anything in the game. There's so many experienced players around as well in game that are happy to help out new players, because it's really exciting when we see new players joining our game and actually getting into it, putting the effort in and enjoying it. If someone's asking for help on something, trust me, that's a good sign that you are invested into our game. And a lot of the end game players actually have played for probably like 15 years, more than 15 years in some cases as well. So seeing new players joining even today is absolutely awesome. Most players will be happy to help, to give you a little bit of advice on something and to explain how something works, maybe a mechanic, maybe understanding how a skill works or where you should get started on something. Do ask if you see anyone around and you're confused about something, just ask or jump in the Discord server, get on a YouTube video and ask in the comments, all that sort of stuff. Everybody's very helpful, so you absolutely shouldn't feel worried about asking for help in this game, because you will get it. Just a quickly note, this doesn't count for every single person in the game, of course, because sometimes you're just going to ask the wrong person who's having a bad day and just can't be bothered, and you may get a bit of a shitty answer, but if you do, just ignore that one and just move on and ask somebody else. Our next comment says, quests are actually fun, and getting into the lore and story of quest lines can be an enjoyable break from the grind. And there's a lot of mid or end game stuff that has quest requirements, so it's nice to just have some quests done. This is absolutely true, and honestly, as a new player, you should be doing some of the early level quests. It's so useful to do these. One, it will level up your account pretty quickly and give you some levels and skills that take a little while to level and a little bit more time investment than doing that quest. And also, you do get some pretty cool unlocks from quests as well. As this person mentioned, there's a lot of stuff that has quest requirements as well, so higher level quests will have a lower level quest requirement, for example. And when you want to possibly unlock a big area in the game or something like that, if it is hidden behind a quest series, by the time you come to do this, you never know, you may have already done half of that to be able to start it anyway. Not only that, there's a lot of awesome quest rewards as well, such as items, such as useful skilling stuff, such as massive experience boosts, all that sort of stuff. So it's definitely worth putting your time in and doing quests as a new player. You're going to be doing them later at some point anyway, so you might as well enjoy them, as the quests in this game are so different to other MMOs. It's not run and kill wolves and come back and hand in the hide. It is literally going to be a different story every single time, a different adventure every time. Some of them take a long time to do, but the rewards that you get from the longer quests are obviously going to be a lot bigger, a lot better than the rewards that you get from like such a fast short quest. Just keep that in mind. If you've got a long quest to do, it's probably a big reward at the end of it. And the lore and effort that Jagex put into their quests is absolutely amazing. Honestly, a lot of people play this game purely just for that, the quests. They go through, they play all the quests, and that's like their main focus on the game. Our next comment is actually one that I didn't even think of myself, but this is absolutely brilliant. I'm so glad they've put this, because this is such a good point. Whenever you're searching for info about the game online, keep in mind there's RuneScape, which is RuneScape 3, the version you're playing now, and Old School RuneScape. They look similar, but they are completely different games. Yes, so you've got the old school version of the game, which is based on the 2007 version of it. There's a few updates since then, but that is Old School RuneScape, and if you search something on Google and just put something like RuneScape Flax, you may actually get the Old School RuneScape bit come up on top of that, and rather than the RuneScape 3 version. Just keep an eye out for it. Chances are RuneScape 3 will just be referenced as RuneScape, and anything for Old School will actually be referenced as Old School RuneScape. It's worth knowing this, because if you are using the wiki quite a bit, which a lot of you will be doing at some point, or on YouTube, you'd like to know the difference of it. It's the same game in the base, but it's very different overall. Next we have Undead Gummy Bear with the amazing comment as always, saying play the game the way you enjoy it. It isn't always the most efficient route, but it will help you not burn out. To get to endgame content is a marathon, not a sprint. Enjoy playing, it's just a game. So I mentioned this in my previous video where I said 5 things you should know before playing RuneScape Mobile, and I mentioned on there that you should play the game the way you want to do it. If something is fun, then do that. If you find something fun but people are saying that's not the best way to do this, go ahead and do this instead. But you look at that and go, that just looks boring. I don't want to stand in the same space for the next 10 hours and just do the same thing over and over again while I don't even pay attention. I want to go and do this. It may take 15 hours instead of 10, but I'll enjoy it more. That's what you want to do. That's what you want to do. If there's anything in the game that you look at and think that just looks like a boring thing to do, I don't want to do all of my daily quests every single day, I might just do some here and there, then just do it like that. You don't have to worry that you've not done all of your dailies every single day if you don't enjoy them. If you enjoy that sort of thing, then more power to you. You're going to get all the experience, all that sort of stuff, and you're going to enjoy it. But make sure that you're enjoying the game more than you are worried about all the sort of efficiency stuff. It's really easy to get caught up in being efficient in this game and planning out stuff and making sure you min-max absolutely everything. It's something that happens in games that have been around as long as RuneScape has, and of course people have played this game for years and years and years, so it makes sense for them to make the game as efficient as possible for them because they've already spent so much time on it. But you are a new player, you need to play it as we were when we were new players. There's a reason we're still around 16, 17 years later, and that's because the new player experience roped us in. The end game kept us here, and we have such good memories of when we were noobs as well that it just sticks. It's just, there's nothing else that compares to it. So enjoy the game as a noob. You don't have to be the most efficient person ever. Everyone needs to keep in mind that we were all noobs once as well, without all the min-max stuff, and we're still here 16, 17 years later. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with you taking the less efficient path if that's what you enjoy the most. Don't rush RuneScape 3, take your time with it, enjoy the leveling experience, enjoy the lower level stuff, because sometimes I kind of wish that I could go back and experience it again with a completely clean slate, with no memory of how it all works, because it does change the game completely once you've done it once. Next we have a comment from Cody Wall, and you said, I know it's super confusing at first, but if you hang in there it will all make sense. Now this is a really good comment because I've mentioned this as well in a previous video that RuneScape lets go of your hand in this game very early. You'll have a little bit of guidance early on at the beginning, like just a little bit, but then as soon as you've done those early tasks, the game sort of just switches off all its tutorial stuff and goes, enjoy your game. Go out there, explore the game, enjoy your adventure. Now this is such a good thing. It is absolutely amazing and I wouldn't change it at all. I would maybe add a little bit more info for what new players could work towards, give them a few options and let them pick their path from like something that pops up and says, right, this is what players normally do. You can either choose to completely ignore that and do what you want to do, or these are the main 5 paths that most players go for. But that is not in this game. That is not something that it does. It just lets go of your hand and says, get on your journey, go enjoy yourself. This is your game now. And that's absolutely awesome, right? It really is. But it can get super confusing. It can get so confusing. The game literally can get to the point where you feel like, why am I doing this? What's the point? Like, what am I getting out of doing this? I've been cutting down trees for the last 3 hours. Yes, my level has gone from 10 all the way up to 60, but what am I getting out of that? Because a new player may not understand that once you've cut down all those trees, once your wood cutting is level 60, you can then fletch all that stuff into arrows, then take those arrows, use them to kill some bosses, upgrade your gear, and just go on a big adventure with literally some freaking logs. It's absolutely awesome, but a lot of new players won't understand that. So it will take time to get into the game, but like he says, once you stick in there, once you hang in a little bit, once you sort of put the time in and find out all the help that you can get, like I said earlier, ask for help off people, ask for guidance, use YouTube, use the wiki, and once you get to that point, the sweet point where you know what's going on in the game just for the basics, and you know enough where you can set yourself a goal. As soon as you get to the point where you literally decide, this is the goal I want to do, that's when you're going to be sucked into this game and you're not going to leave. Because once you understand how to set goals and you understand how to get to them and reach those goals, that's when this game becomes something else. It just becomes something that makes you want to drive for something, get there, achieve it, set something else, and just keep going. So yes, absolutely give the game a fair shake, give it a good try, make sure you ask any questions for any help in the comments down below, in the Discord server, ask anything you want, we will help you get to this point, we will help out as much as we can, but when you get there, you won't need us anymore because you'll know full on what you want to do, and that's when it becomes amazing. Next we have another comment from Snippet. He says, very similar to one of the previous ones, just remember, it's a game, if you don't enjoy what you're doing, why are you doing it? This is going to be a very quick one, it's pretty much exactly what he says. Like I said earlier, if you're doing something in the game and you're thinking, I don't enjoy this, unless there's a reason that you're doing that to unlock something that you specifically want and you know you're going to love that, so in your head it is absolutely worth doing it, just don't do it. There's no point. If you're playing for fun, if you're playing to enjoy the game, then absolutely don't do it. But some people also have that mindset of being a complete completionist player is what is enjoyable. They're getting that satisfaction of seeing all achievements done, then it makes sense. But if you're sat there thinking, I freaking hate this, I'm getting fed up with this, why am I doing it? Just take a break or just don't do it and just forget it. There's no point. Enjoy the game. That should be the main focus. Our next comment says, be careful who you trust. There are a lot of scammers out there. Okay, this is a really good one to add. And of course, I mentioned this in one of my top 5 things that you need to know before playing, but it just makes sense to re-mention it and just to bring the point back up again. This game has an open trade system. You can give your items to anybody you want without them having to give you anything in return. If you wanted to walk up to the next random person you saw in game, get all of your money out of your bank, get all of your items and give it to them, you absolutely can. Of course, you probably won't want to do that, but there'll be people in this game taking advantage of the fact that you can do that. They will lure you into thinking they're going to give you a big massive reward. They will take you to a place where they can kill you and make you drop all your stuff. Keep in mind, this is just the wilderness. You get a warning before you go in there. And don't be scared of following people around unless you're going somewhere like that. You'll be fine otherwise. The amount of effort and ideas that go into scams and hacks and lures in this game are absolutely crazy. It's ridiculous. But in my opinion, the easiest way to be aware of this and the easiest way to be safe of this is if something seems too good to be true, if someone's offering you something for nothing, if you think this is just a little bit fishy, do not go with it. It is too good to be true. They are being fishy and they are absolutely not offering you something for nothing. If someone says to you, go to a YouTube video, I'm giving away 200 billion GP, which is, by the way, a freaking unbelievable amount of money for one. If they say click on a link, do not click on that link. If you see something on Twitch saying I'm quitting the game from one of the biggest streamers in the game that literally use this game to make a living, don't trust it. It's fake. Don't give your items to anybody expecting something in return on a next trade. It is not going to happen. If something is too good to be true, ignore it. It's fake. Do not go with it. Also though, do keep in mind that there is lots of helpful players that are wanting to help people out. They may be giving you something for nothing, but they're not going to ask you to give them all of your stuff before they actually help you out, because that doesn't make sense. If that's what they want you to do, sack them off, ignore them, they're trying to scam you. Alright, this is going to be the last comment that I leave you guys on, and this is from Sam Will. He says, focus on getting good stats from the start rather than making money. Much more money will come with the higher stats. This is such a good thing to tell you guys, honestly. A lot of people join this game, they find out what money is, they find out all the nice, pretty things they can buy with money, and they think, you know what, all I need in this game is money. I don't need to do anything else, I just need to make money, that's my big goal. Even if making money is your only and your biggest goal, that it doesn't excuse the fact that you still need to get skills in this game to do so. Now, there is ways to make money without all that stuff, of course, but it makes sense for you to level up your account first, focus on getting used to the game, knowing how stuff works, and then putting more time into your skills. The reason being is, if you want to stand at the Grand Exchange on a new account and do things that make you 3 to 5 million GP an hour, absolutely you can do that, and you can think, yes, I'm making so much money every hour, in 100 hours I will have this much money. Just keep in mind that if you leveled up your account in that time, rather than making 3 to 4 mil to 5 mil an hour at the Grand Exchange, you could be doing PVM as an endgame player, making 40 mil, 50 mil, 60 mil. Honestly, if you put the time in and do the hardest boss in the game, all the way up to literally something that is ridiculously difficult to do, you could be making 200 million GP an hour. Now, don't get me wrong, the 200 mil an hour is very unrealistic, and it is a long way off for a lot of you people who are just starting the game, but 20 mil, 30 mil, 40 mil an hour, that's not that unrealistic. and you don't have to do bosses for that. There's other things in the game as well, but it always makes sense to level up your skills, because doing the same skill at level 10 will make you less money per hour than doing that exact same skill at, say, level 70, level 80, level 90. And honestly, you just want to level your skills up, and then you can make more money per hour anyway. It just makes more sense, and you get to play the game as well. You get to play the game, you get to enjoy it, you get to make the money at the same time. Definitely don't get caught up on the very early game of making so much money to where you're not actually playing the game properly. Of course, at some point you are going to need money to level up specific skills and stuff, and at that point you may need to do the things that make 3 to 5 mil an hour. However, as long as you're doing it to progress your account, then it makes sense. It's absolutely fine. If you're doing it just to buy something to put on your head that looks pretty, that just doesn't make sense. This mostly applies to the people who want to progress their account, who want to get into the game, who want to enjoy it, and of course, the people who want to make as much money as possible. Keep in mind, you will make a lot more later on. If you want to be a low level, making just a little bit of money here and there, play super casual and literally just dress your person up, looking absolutely amazing, looking like you've come straight out of some action figure box or something like that, then hell, I'm not telling you how to play the game. You do that. You just keep in mind. I just wanted to make sure you all understood that if you do level your account up, if you do progress, you can achieve your goals of making money a lot quicker as well. Anyway, like I said, that was our last comment, so hopefully these comments have helped you guys out, have given you some tips, some advice for the new players in the game. If they have, leave a like, and also comment down below on what tips did help you out. Anyone who is not new to the game and watching, get in the comments, leave some more tips for these players. It's absolutely awesome to see so many of you commenting on this original post in the first place to help everybody out. It is really cool to see you all coming together and making sure these players do get to stay in our game, do get to enjoy it, and don't get too confused. But anyway, like I said, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like, do subscribe to the channel if you are new to the game, if you are new to the channel. I also do stream on Twitch. There's a link in the description below. You can ask me any questions while I am streaming there at all. It doesn't bother me at all, so get in there, ask any questions, I will happily answer as best I can. But anyway, like I said, that is it from me today, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.